So, who is the best agent to sell your home? And how would you know? I'll walk you through a process here to narrow down a list of names. The purpose of this video is to actually identify a few people who would be good options to sell your home. I did do a couple of other videos really specifically how to interview an agent and a list of questions you should ask them. I also have a little spreadsheet that I use to manage this process that I recommend to my sellers. So you can see all that stuff down in the description. All right, so let's start out with, we want to find a list of people who are viable candidates to sell your house. So it's important at this point, don't call them. We're just identifying a list right now. So there are a few ways to find these people, and you're going to want to, at the end of this process, end up with a list of, I'm going to say 5 to 10 names. 10 would be a lot. 5 would be probably about right. If at any time you're looking at the name and you're like, I'm not really sure, just cross them off the list. There are literally hundreds of thousands of real estate agents in the state of Florida, and then like nationally millions of real estate agents. So if you don't have a good feeling, or you find something that doesn't quite sit well with you, just cross them off your list and say, next. There are plenty. Okay, so to find these names, I'm going to recommend a few steps. I'm going to recommend 5 steps. Number 1, I'm going to say, you should ask a friend. You should say, I'm thinking about selling my house. Who would you recommend I talk to? Number 2, ask a real estate agent. Probably not a real estate agent in that exact market, because they're just going to say, you should hire me. But if you have real estate connections in other states, most of us are very well networked. For example, I'm in Florida. I'm really good relationships with agents in Florida, Aspen, like that, right? Or I send business down to Miami from time to time. They send it back up. Number 3, look in your mailbox. I know this sounds like so basic, but real estate agents send a lot of direct mail. And although that doesn't necessarily mean that the person who mailed you something is like fantastic, they're at least interested in servicing your market area. So you can, put that person on your list of names. Then I recommend you head over to Zillow.com. So real estate agents, we have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with Zillow sometimes, but if you use a tool called the Agent Finder, you'll be miles ahead of the game. It's a really great tool. And number 5, of course, Google it. Right? So in terms of doing a Google search, put as many parameters as you can, maybe your neighborhood name or your city. Otherwise, you're going to end up with, like Zillow, Realtor.com, and then maybe some national franchises. Keep in mind, you want a specific name. Okay, so at this point, you should have, 5, 10 names on the list. Once you have that short list, you want to do a little research about each of these people. And I'll say again, if there's anyone as you're going through this process, you just don't have a good feeling about, cross them off your list. There are plenty of fish in this real estate agent sea. Okay, so you're going to approach your research project by asking 3 questions. Question number 1. And maybe the most important is, what homes similar to yours has this agent recently sold? So I talked about the Zillow Agent Finder tool. It also lists what these people have recently listed and sold. Great tool. I think it's important to note that you may not want the number 1 person. You might. Number 1 person might be great, might also be a total jerk. So as long as you have sort of the top few agents in that marketplace, you can then rely on other things in addition to the production numbers. Okay, second question is, what is this agent known for? And this one works on multiple levels. So I would recommend asking a friend, hey, I'm considering hiring so-and-so to sell my house. Have you ever heard of this person? And then be quiet and listen, and they'll tell you all kinds of things. They had good experience, they had a bad experience, they heard something. Take secondhand accounts maybe with a grain of salt. And number 3, you can check out their website. Of course, it's their own business card. They put it out there, right? So based on their website, what sort of business do they do? So let's say you have a farm and you are, oh, this agent's so great, and it turns out that that agent specializes in oceanfront condominiums, luxury condominiums, and you're a farm. It's really a different thing. So very few people specialize well in many, many things. You want to make sure the person is selling things that are similar to you. If you're in a luxury market versus, pre-foreclosure, it's a very different skill set. So you want to ask yourself, what is this agent known for as it relates to the type of business that they do? So back to Zillow.com, you have testimonials. Also Googling them, you may see some testimonials and some other things. You can also check out the Better Business Bureau and your local licensing authority. So in Florida, that's the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. You can check with the Realtor Board. You can find out a lot about this person. Do a little bit of research. So you can come away with meaningful indicators about how, the person is qualified to sell your home, what they're known for, a little bit about their personality, and what is the model of their business. So that is really great. You should have a short list of around 5-ish agents that you can call and interview for the job of selling your home. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If there's anything you feel like maybe we should have covered and didn't, go ahead and put something down in the comments for us, and who knows, maybe we'll make a video about your question. I do have a couple of other videos specific to hiring a real estate agent, as I mentioned. We'll put those up here for you to be able to see. They are a list of questions and, of course, what's the process for interviewing an agent. So thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rochelle.TV, bringing you the very best of Boca Raton luxury real estate. See you next time.